Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be going over a Replica MOMO steering wheel. I purchased this thing a long while ago for under $100 Canadian. Now, the authentic MOMO steering wheel costs about over $300 Canadian. So you can see why a lot of people will be interested in one of these because it's priced right. And that's why I was interested in it. I wanted to see what the difference is and how the quality compares to the authentic one. Now, if you guys are looking for an authentic MOMO steering wheel, purchase it from a reputable dealer. The reason being is there's a lot of people out there that pawn off these replicas as the authentic. And last thing you want is to be paying $300 something for something that's worth under $100. Now, I'm not going to be posting any links to these steering wheels. The reason being is I'm not sponsored by any of these sellers. And you can easily just Google the steering wheels as they're on a lot of platforms. Primarily, you get them from Amazon or eBay, and the prices are always different from many different sellers. So do your research and find yourself one if you guys are interested. Now, let's get to the review. Alright guys, at first glance, this is the box. It looks pretty authentic overall, except for the fact that the box is all dinged up, but it is come from China, so through shipping, it does get all banged up and all. So you're not going to expect a perfect looking box. Another thing that I noticed through the box is that on the corner here, it doesn't say made in Italy. I believe the authentic one usually says made in Italy on it. Now, let's open this thing up and take a look at what's inside. But yeah, it is packaged very well. I think I pulled everything out of there now. Alright, so we have the steering wheel here, as well as a set of instructions, and the instructions actually look very authentic. It's printed on some nice paper as well with the MOMO logo and all of that. So they did a good job in replicating everything here. Comes with a horn button. You could opt for many different design horn buttons, as well as the hardware to install. Now the horn button that I purchased is the spoon horn button. So let's take a look at the horn button first. That looks pretty good. It's a spoon replica horn button. And if you notice, it also says MOMO on the back here, which they've done a good job in replicating. But overall, this horn button looks pretty good. Let's set that aside. Now the star of the show is the steering wheel. We'll take it out of this wrapping, and as you can see, it looks very nice. It even comes with the leather here that says MOMO, and all of the authentic MOMOs usually say that. Now, one of the things that you do notice that this is, it does have some weird stitching around, right around here. The MOMO authentic ones are usually perfectly stitched, and it looks flawless, usually the authentic ones. This, you can actually tell that there are some flaws in it. I'll bring you guys up close to take a look at the stitching, and you guys can see how the quality control is kind of bad, but it's not something that you would actually notice. All right, so if you take a look at here, the stitching isn't perfectly smooth. Usually the authentic ones are like a seamless stitch. So you can see that these areas are not perfect. However, they've done a pretty decent job overall for the stitching. And it is a genuine leather steering wheel. I don't know how realistic that is or how real that is, but you could feel that it is nice and soft. Now, one thing to note is they do a MOMO logo on here. So they do a good job in replicating that. And then on the back here, they also put the MOMO stamps. So it makes it very difficult to tell if it's real or fake. But this looks overall really good. Now, one of the things that people are really concerned of is the weakness of these steering wheels. Now, this is actually made of pretty thick metal here. So it's actually pretty strong, I would say. It doesn't really flex or anything. Let me show you guys. So the steering wheels here, if you're just twisting it, it doesn't really flex. So it's actually made really good quality. If you're worried about safety, you shouldn't be, because it is actually very good quality. Now, let's measure out the thickness here, because I think in the past, the Momos weren't very thick, at least the replicas. They're very flimsy, and when people actually bent it, the whole steering wheel would just snap. But as you can see, I'm putting quite a bit of force on it, and it is not moving. Now, let's just measure out the metal thickness here. And it is about 5 millimeters thickness, which is the same standard as the authentic Momos. So overall, the steering wheel looks very good. Now this is an actual replica of a Monte Carlo style steering wheel, which is what I wanted. So we're gonna put this in the car and we're gonna run it for a while and see how it goes. But overall, it is pretty nice. I think I'll run the spoon push horn button as well, just because, you know, matches and everything. So we're gonna get this installed. All right, so this is comparing to my authentic Momo that's currently in the car, and it actually looks fairly similar. Obviously, the leather texture isn't so grainy as the actual Momo is, but still looks very good. Now, I'm going to remove my old steering wheel, and then we're going to put on the replica, and we'll run it for a while and just see how it is. And we need this horn attachment here. I could use the one that came with the steering wheel, but I'd rather use my authentic Momo one. Install this new horn onto the steering wheel and have a look at it. Might switch back to the Honda one just because, you know, the spoon one, if the spoon one looks a little weird. That's what it looks like with the Spoon Sports horn button. I'm not really sure that I like the Spoon Sports one. I prefer the Honda one more. Yeah, the Honda one looks better. So we'll pop this one off and we'll put the Honda one back. All right, so there's the old one. Oh, there's the new one from the replica versus the real. They look pretty similar, but this one doesn't have the Momo logo because this is an 80s steering wheel. It's made in 1984 versus this. We can't even trust the date stamp on it because, you know, it's fake, obviously. But looks pretty good, I would say. Kind of liking the way that this feels. Softer than the, well, actually about the same. This one's actually a little bit stiffer, but we'll rock this for a little bit and then we'll see how it goes. And I'll provide a review if this doesn't hold up or anything like that. But for under $100, you get this really nice looking Momo replica. But it, you know, from afar you can't even tell. But you do see that the poor stitching up here, like this part is like sticking up. It's just not glued down properly, kind of thing. So we'll see how this holds up. Anyways, guys, I hope this video helps you guys out. If you haven't already, please comment, like, and subscribe, and share my videos. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.